This is Street Connect, a project that I started to bring more purpose and connection into New York City life. And I do that by having conversations with strangers.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think would be your biggest regret this past 5 years?
Something that I don't know if I could have done any differently, but I still feel like a way about is kind of losing our church community.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you can change that?
I didn't expect to lose like some of the relationships that that we had.
Yeah, you take it for granted, right? It's hard.
I just thought that like
it would continue.
I thought some would continue.
Right.
My eyes are watering, and I'm not sure if it's because of what I'm talking about or because the wind is blowing in my eyes. So I'm gonna wipe it and I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily like regret leaving.
Right.
But I guess regret the loss of friendship or like the rich fabric of our community life. You know what I mean? That we had like a bustling, like
I miss that,
groups and people,
and it felt like it was like this hole when you left. But I think you take for granted that, well, I know you and I live close, so I'm gonna always see you.
Exactly.
But then life happens.
I don't think it's for us to show back up on the scene and be like, "Hey, we back." You know what I mean? Just to get that back. But it's sad to have lost it. What has been your deepest pain?
My deepest pain? It's so funny because I was actually having one of those moments where I was just like, why am I in this family? I don't understand why I'm surrounded by crazy people. You know, so I'm like hit from all sides with all levels of instability. And I'm just like, I just want someone to ask me how my day was, not someone to demand like emotional payment from me that I don't want to give. I get tired of having to be strong all the time. I get tired of just like showing up on the scene and being Captain Saberho for everybody. And I'm just like, I get so tired of being that. And then I have to just continue on with my life as if everything's great and still try and maintain and go and teach, you know, and then go home and make jewelry and try and, you know, do my hustle and just start the whole process all over again with people who just like are emotional vampires. And they're exhausting. Like I have this resentment for this whole thing. I get tired of being pulled here, being pulled there. You know, when my mom came back into the picture, I was actually really upset. Because I'm just like, I don't want to deal with her. I don't want to deal with her stuff. And now that she's in the picture, like, I know that she's got stuff that someone who's stable has to help her with. And I don't like it. You know? And you know, I had a struggle with feeling shitty saying that, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't like it. I don't like the obligation that I feel I'm tied to because she's my mother. But I also know it's the right thing to do, you know? And then, I mean, it's the same thing with my dad. Yeah, like I had a moment on Friday where I just cried because I was just like, I just want someone to ask me how my day was and ask me how it's going with the jewelry and just, you know, not worry about having to be someone's legal guardian on their paperwork. I don't want to think about those things. And I'm just like, I don't want to be that parent to my kids. And I worry about that. I find myself pushing my kids away when they're like, oh, Mom, we want to give you something. And I'm like, no, you need to take care of you. I'm good. I need you to take care of you. Right. I don't want to be the parents to them that my parents are to me. So, yeah, I forgot the question, but that's the answer.
That's so real. That's so hard.
It is. It's hard. It's like, because it's like, you feel like, oh, people are going to be like, oh, that's horrible. You're a horrible daughter for saying that you resent your parents. But that's how I feel. That's like so real. Like, My dad's calling me, and I'm debating whether I want to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, do I want to start my morning off with knowing I got to go see him in like 3 days and like deal with 16 barrels in his apartment? You know, do I want to call my mom's home attendant and find out if how her heart test went and like, you know, and dealing with her issues and how she's allowed people to misuse her funds and abuse her financially, you know? And I'm just like, I feel angry and I feel upset. And I don't know who I should be mad at. If I should be mad at her, if I should be mad at them, I should be mad at myself for not being in the picture for 7 years. So I could have maybe stopped that stuff from happening. But I'm like, I don't want to be that person that's holding her hand. Like, you're a grown ass woman. Why am I doing this? But she needs that. And I don't like being the person that she has to have in her life to keep this from happening. I resent it. And I feel shitty sometimes for saying that. But that's how I feel, you know?
It's hard to toe that line between like self-care and like
Yeah.
familial responsibility.
Yeah. Like my heart clenches, my stomach just kind of just feels like it's dropped to my feet when I have to like think about, oh, I gotta go do this with them. And I'm just like, ugh, struggling. It's a struggle and it's hard, you know. And then you have, of course, your other relatives. Oh, you're such a good daughter. I don't want to be a good daughter. I just want to be regular and like live my life and have normal parents, you know. And that's what I want, you know. Yeah. I don't want to be the good daughter that's always cleaning up my parents' messes. I want to just be regular. For myself, I always try and do the best that I can with what I have. And I think that's exhausting because I find I'm giving it to people who I feel don't deserve it a lot of times. But I would feel less than if I gave them less than because I feel like that's not me. So it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Yeah. No, I'm glad I ran into you. And you.
I'm so glad I ran
Yeah. I want a barber.